Alright, here we go. We got the holiday battle 1 of 16. Sends out a gross and I send out 4E. I think I feel pretty safe here, so I decide to set up some spikes, but I wasn't sure if he wanted to explode real quick or not, or if he wanted to switch. I didn't want to get just one layer of toxic spikes, so I went with the stealth rock first just to see. He kept EQing, and I figured I'll be real scared if he blows up on me and I only get one layer of toxic spikes, because that's the worst thing in the world. That would help him more than it would help me. But fortunately, he didn't, and so I was really happy with the result that had. Got this new dude over here from a buddy. I love him, or at least I hope I will. And I expected him to switch out, so that definitely really hurts me. I didn't want to set up at first, because I hate setting up early in a match. But he didn't switch, so I figured I'm kind of stuck in it, and I may as well finish this guy off. I go with the fire punch instead of EQ that time, just to see what the difference is. I didn't think about the base powers and stab and stuff like that, so I don't know which one's actually more powerful. I'll figure that out after I finish talking. But it might just be damage variation, and I was a little disappointed. And this made me so mad. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. The one time I used toxic spikes, he has a poison type. Who has a poison type besides Gengar and Weezing that both fly? I mean, give me a break. There's Drapion, there's this dude, and that's like it. I was so mad. So here I am, I'm thinking, I'm done. Like, I brought mostly a tank team so I could toxic stall around, and that was really not good. So, and then he finished off my dude unexpectedly, but at the least I learned what the guy's capable of. So, I get this thing paralyzed at least. So that's kind of nice. I have no idea what it wants to do. So I want to, considering with this guy, Toxic Spike's going to be worthless, I figure maybe I can get rid of the Smeargle and not have to worry about it. But he's a little bit smarter than that, and kind of just made me waste my fodder, really, which sucks. I would have much rather have had him as death fodder, for sure. I send in my guy, because there's nothing left this team can do about Dusknoir, except Dusknoir himself to stall it out. Fortunately, mine hits. Unfortunately, his hits as well. And now my thought process is, how can I get his dead before mine? So I decide to see who's faster, first of all, because that's the best way to find out. And it looks like his is a little bit more defensive or a little bit more attack. Now, I know I have some attack in mine, so I'm going to guess that his is just flat out more defensive than mine. So I decide to switch to Bliss for one turn to avoid the sneak and get some burn extra, that's right, get some burn extra damage on him. And, of course, the ever obvious, go back, but I don't know. I don't really know why I went back, I guess. I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. Mostly because Bliss would have nothing to do anyway, so. Oh, that's right. I was afraid of pain split. I didn't want him pain splitting, then having to start all over. That's why. So, I stay in a couple turns, getting him down a little bit more, and I notice it's still a losing battle, but not too much. So, I figure after a couple turns, I'm safe to go back and avoid another sneak. Unfortunately, I do. I was thinking on going to a different guy that he actually never sees in the battle, and I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to take an Ice Punch with him, and I didn't want to have him get a Will-O-Wisp either, just in case I didn't KO. So I ended up not going to him. I kept doing the switch to Bliss and Dusknoir and stuff like that. I didn't want to get pain splitted, otherwise I was screwed. So at this point, I figure I don't care if I die first or second. I'm going to have to get that thing dead anyway. So I decide to hang around and deal as much as I can to it. Maybe get a crit. Maybe not. No, of course not. What am I thinking? You can always hope, though, eh? So he lives with just a little bit, and I live with just a little bit less. I'm tempted to switch out here, and I decide to do so. And unfortunately, he does too, which made me really mad. When it said Mr. Chimp, I thought it was an ape, and I was really scared because I brought this chick in. So, and that fake out hurt a lot. I'm thinking because of that, he's adamant, because that, like, really hurt. I don't want to take a double hit at all. It'd be nice to paralyze it, it'd be nice to counter it, but I know he's got a king hanging around, and I need to save this for the king. Otherwise, that king is going to just sweep my team. So, I've got to save it, and so I decide to use my death fodder now. Avoid the hit, big deal, burn kills me, so that's not too important, but it's just nice to be like, hey, I predicted that, aha. I go with this person. Remember, I'm still thinking he's adamant, so I'm afraid of the Shadow Claw, but I was pretty sure I would go first. If not, I'd have a speed tie at the worst, and it turns out his was adamant, so I was safe and I was right, and that makes me feel pretty good. This thing is back. Obviously it can sucker punch. However, that's really obvious, so I think he might think I'm going to Bliss and that he's going to use some sort of fighting move, so I risk the Surf. I figure if I don't, I can't win anyway. So I go with Surf. I didn't want to switch to the other poke because he wouldn't really do much to this guy. So I made an awesome prediction there and I got the upper hand on it, and that was huge. I was afraid of the ape scarfing, but again, I had no other options. I had to risk that it wasn't a scarf and finish it off. Fortunately, it was. Dusknoir dies on entry, and the Smeargle is left to see what he can do about it. Thank God it was over. So if he hit me with a sucker punch there, I likely would have died, and that would have been it, man. I mean, that was it. That was the game on that move. So heck of a match. That's a great way to start my holiday streak, and best of luck to him. So thanks for all for watching and all that stuff, and look for more soon. Peace.